Hello viewers, my name is Jason Teo and this is the Honda City GM6 2015. Now it's effectively the most favorite car of all time in Malaysia, B segment wise. Now I'm just going to take you through of the exterior, the interior, the performance and how does it drive in 2022 on the road and on the highway. Let's get to it. The Honda City is one of the most favorite B segment cars of all time in Malaysia. The City, this specific GM6 2015, contribute 41% of Honda's Malaysia sales back in the first half of 2015. But why is it? So the front, I mean, look at it. It's a very good, stylish looking Honda City in the front back in 2015. Where you see other manufacturer back in then, the B segment wise, it's a very dull looking, boring sedan or even hatchback. Whereas this one, when you launch in Honda, it looks stylish, it looks cool, and so to say, premium. Wow, look at it. I mean, yes, it's starting to feel its age in 2022, especially this headlamp is much more thicker, whereas the new Honda City is much more thinner with LED, and also some manufacturer claim it's laser, so to speak, laser LED.
Freaking laser beams attached.
Something like that. I don't know what their marketing is, but yeah, that's what you're gonna get it. But you can change this headlamp to a much more LED look with various aftermarket, especially for this specific GM6, because there are a lot of aftermarket mods for this specific car. And yeah, the hood, yeah, it has this again angular sculpture to improve aerodynamic, and this Honda chrome-ish shiny thingy at the grille is only available for the high specification model for this variant, whereas other lower trim, you don't have this very shiny chrome looking good Honda grille for some reason. And yes, fog lamp is standard for the V-Spec model, which is this one. Again, for the lower trim model, you don't get fog lamp for some reason. Thanks Honda. And yeah, I think that's about it for this the front of the exterior. I think it's a very good looking till this very day in 2022. So from the side profile of this Honda City, I mean, I think it still looks very good till this very day. You do get a very sculptured aerodynamics on the side over here to improve aerodynamic. And for this particular model, this is the V-Spec model, you do get a 16-inch as standard, whereas the lower trim model, you do get a 15-inch. But other than that, yeah, it's a Honda City on the very side profile, nothing too much. Oh, and you do get a shark fin tail at the antenna, whereas the base spec you do get a very ugly antenna looking, which nobody will buy that one. So from the rear design, it's starting to look its age. I mean, you do get a very big tail lamp right over here than the previous generation to make it much more muscular to the ground, but it's starting to feel its age because it's using halogen rather than LED like the new Honda City. And yeah, I mean, you still can change this rear tail lamp to like some kind of BMW or an Audi tail lamp design of those aftermarket to make it much more modern. But yeah, if it's original, yeah, it's starting to feel its age in 2022. But other than that, it's a really good looking rear design, nothing too much, nothing too shouty. I mean, you do have a rear fog lamp over here, and also you do have real exhaust over here, other than fake exhaust like some other manufacturers do. But other than that, yeah, design in the rear, simple, good looking, nothing too much in your face. So from the rear boot, we have 536 liters of boot capacity compared to a Nissan Almera back in 2015. It was around 490 liters, whereas a Toyota Vios is 506 liters of boot space. Now, I do not have exact measure of boxes to make it how many boxes I can fit. However, I can fit a human size bin. For example, like me, a human size grown man fit this size. Very comfortable. And if you want to ask your friend to sit in the back, he'll be fine, you know. Just get a pillow. That's about it. So, from the interior design back in 2015, this Honda City looks very cool in terms of the design. I mean, it's no wonder why people buy this car back in the days. I mean, yeah, it's starting to feel its age compared to the latest Honda City, but I mean, it's no boring design. I mean, look at it. You have a very shiny trim on the dashboard over here. You have a very nice, cool looking speedometer in front of you, very cool looking. And in this specific high specification model, you do have a touchscreen air conditioning, which I'll get that in a second. But other than that, in terms of design, overall, it looks cool, futuristic, and again, premium. Yeah. And in terms of storage compartment, yes, you can fit your 500 millimeter of your shaker bottle right over here, but you can can't put in. Oh wait, you can put a water bottle right over here, a 500 like this on this kind of size. And yeah, compartment wise is very good. You know, you have your glove compartment which you can store many of your surgical masks. You have your power outlet 12-volt socket over here, two USB hole. Oh yeah, two USB, and you have one HDMI, which I'm not entirely sure what you're going to connect, unless you're going to connect your TV. You're going to put your TV here. I have no idea. Yeah, and then for this specific owner, he put a lot of shielding right over this compartment over here. Yeah, your front armrest over here. Yeah, you can put many stuff. I mean, it's a practical family sedan. Now let's move on to the infotainment system. This is the highest specification model of the Honda City, which is the V-Spec model. You do get a 7-inch display, whereas the lower trim model, you don't get a full touchscreen display. You get a very normal multimedia stereo radio something. I don't know what is that, but back then Honda infotainment, I mean, it's not the best. I mean, right now you can tell this is a very outdated infotainment system. It's very slow, very laggy, very low resolution, something like that, and you don't get Apple CarPlay nor Android Auto. I mean it's 2015. Not many cars have that features. But yes, because if you don't have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in cars nowadays, it's starting to feel its age, in my opinion. You do get your regular Bluetooth, your stereo, and you do get CD player. Now, how retro is that? A CD player. Who uses CD right nowadays? And if I have to tell you what is a CD, you're not from the same generation. But yeah, again, infotainment for this Honda City is starting to feel its age, right? And coming to the air conditioning, this is the V-Spec model, is the highest specification model. You do get a very touchscreen air conditioning. Now, it's cool back in the day when Honda introduced this touchscreen, but in practical wise, when you're driving it, you can actually feel the button because it's touchscreen, so you can't actually feel. So which is why back then a lot of people complain about the touchscreen display of the air conditioning, which is right now the latest Honda City, they give you back the physical knob, which is cool. Honda listened to us, which is awesome. Again, the air conditioning, I mean, it works, but to be honest, it's not really my cup of tea of how you run air conditioning. I really just want a physical knob. That's about it. So coming from the rear seat, this Honda City has the biggest rear legroom in this segment over here. I mean, just look at it. It is huge. I can fit my leg underneath this driver's seat over here with no problem at all. It's no wonder many families like to buy this Honda City because it is a great family sedan. If I sit up dead straight over here, I do hit the headliner just slightly, and if you're taller than me, 181 centimeters taller, yeah, you're gonna struggle on the headroom over here. This seat is much more reclined compared to a Toyota Vios or Nissan Almera, so you can just slouch just a little bit, and even I slouching, I still have plenty of leg room over here. So you can just sit back and relax and enjoy the view over here. And you can wind down the window, and I have not turned on the power, excuse me. Hold on. Yes, and there's beeping over there. But can it go all the way down? Yes, it can. It can go all the way down. So you can just rest your arm over here and enjoy the view. Even though there's no view, it's just a brick wall. Anyway, let's go up to put up the rear window over here. And again, you do have a rear air conditioner, which is the first in its class. You have two 12-volt socket over here, which everyone can charge their phone in the back over here. And in terms of a compartment over here, you do have some pouch over here at the driver's seat and the passenger seat. You can fit a small bottle in the rear of the door bin over here. And yes, there's an armrest which is here, which is very good. You put your bottle here, which is, I mean, it's rather shallow. And if the driver accelerate and brake, you know, it's gonna fall. But you know, it's good that you have it. Now coming to the middle seat. Now the middle seat is much more shallow and much more raised up than it's supposed to be. The floor is much more flat. I mean, it's raised slightly, but it's nothing too bad. If you sit in the middle seat, especially tall as me, sit up dead straight, yeah, you're gonna see I'm gonna hit the headroom very noticeable. But it's okay since the body is very wide. You can fit 3 people at squeeze. But if you are much more bigger size than me, yeah, 3 people sitting in the rear is gonna have a struggle. But overall, I mean, In the rear seat over here, it's the best B segment rear seat of all time. So in this Honda City, this has a 1.5 liter iVTEC engine. It's familiar to the previous generation but slightly improved. It has 120 horsepower and 145 Newton meters of torque. It is much more refined than the previous generation, and it's using a CVT rather than a torque converter, a 5-speed automatic than the previous generation. So overall, I think this engine will produce a very great output. So let's drive it on the highway. So what is it like to drive this car around town? Well, it is a city car, no pun intended. Well, it is a much more firmer on the suspension side. If you compare to a Toyota Vios, that car is a much more softer suspension than this car. But it's not to the point that this car is a very firm on the firmer side, like those are sports cars, so to me. But it is a very comfortable car to travel in. But it's just that if you drive back and forth with the Toyota Vios and this car, you can feel the bumps much more closely than the Toyota Vios. And visibility wise, it is a very great visibility. The dashboard is a very low dash. You can see up the front is very good. The wheel at the back is very good as well. This APU is a bit thicker side, but I think nothing too much to complain. So overall, driving around town in this city, it is a very comfortable car to travel in. So what does it feel like to drive this car on the highway? Well, I gotta be honest, it is very similar to most B-segment cars. It drives well, it handles well enough. The sound isolation wise, I mean, it's not the best. I mean, it's not Honda's main priority to make this kind of a soundproofing. But I think most people, they're gonna be fine. They're just gonna turn on the stereo and live on continuing with their life. In this particular model, you do have a cruise control because this is a higher specification model. In the lower trim, you don't get this cruise control, but it's a very basic cruise control. So it's not like you're gonna put the cruise control and lift up the accelerator and let it drive. No, it's a very basic cruise control, but it's good to have it, you know, in case you're going a long distance trip like for Penang or somewhere else, a very long distance trip. It's good that you have it. So when it comes to cornering, it is a very sporty car. You floor the throttle and let it go. I'm not sure you can hear it, but that is the CVT trying to belting this car out. It is a much more noticeable of the CVT. I mean, it is a very annoying kind of sound. It just goes whoa, that kind of sound if you're driving a much more higher top speed. But I think most people, they're not gonna really care about that kind of sound. For modeling journalists, they're gonna really notice this kind of sound for the CVT. And back then, this CVT wasn't the greatest. You know, it's a very mediocre CVT. So what's my overall verdict of this Honda City GM6 2015? Well, I gotta be honest, it's still a very great car to drive even till this very day. There's maybe various aftermarket that you can change this car, such as the body kit, the headlamp from halogen to LED, the tail lamp, and the infotainment, which I think most people is gonna upgrade the infotainment, class-leading space, and the good old iVTEC. So yeah, that's my overall take on this old Honda City GM6 2015. Hey, what's up guys? I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and if you did, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button. It really does help me out very much. I do read all your comments very well. Let me know in the comments down below what car you want me to review next, and if you want to watch my review of the new Toyota Yaris 2021, which incidentally is my personal car, click on the pop-up banner in the top right hand corner of the screen to watch that review. I think that review is a very great video. You guys should watch it. So I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys very soon.